say, what could I say, my love? If I only knew the words for you, you might know me, and I might know me too. Let's talk Saturn for a moment. Saturn Kronos, Saturn Satan, Father Time, the spirit that brings form to matter. There's many expressions, many ways to break Saturn down. So let's start with an idea. Something from mythology. It's a pattern I've seen throughout the psyche of us as a species. It's a story that's repeated in many different ways. There's 3 phases to it. When you want to understand complex things, you have to break them down to basic ideas. And then in life and experience, as you relate these ideas to experiences and information that arises, you can either dismiss what you had believed or build upon what you have believed. So Kronos was the husband of Gaia. But long before Kronos was Uranus, who was the son of Gaia and the father of all future sky gods. After Kronos was Zeus. Zeus, Kronos, and Uranus, they are the sky god. If you think of the cosmic universe, the cosmos, the sky, it is the father, and the earth the mother. Seeds of life are implanted into the earth and they grow, they prosper. The mother gives birth. The mother cares for her children, her offspring. Uranus predated Kronos, and when Kronos came into power or realized himself as an individuated source, external from what had been before him, the cosmos, trying to find the gravity of the self, he cut ties with Uranus. He castrated Uranus with the diamond scythe. Uranus represents change. It is the ever-flowing static, which is that everything is dynamic. And so Father Time was born at that moment, slowed the change, so that the gravity of self and what is created through that could find room in this ever-flowing change. So Saturn took hold of time to bring spirit to form. Many of the religions of this time, specifically the Abrahamic religions, are tied into this archetype, where you must sacrifice your son, the son within, for the son without. Where you have to sacrifice what it is that drives you, what it is that you find purpose with in this world, so that you can fit in with society, with culture, with your family. You have to sacrifice what passion, what love you have for things, for dreams, for visions, for goals, in order to survive, in order to pay the bills, in order to relate with other people. Now, it's not all about sacrifice. Sometimes you sacrifice the potentials for the probabilities. Sometimes you sacrifice all this so that you can focus on something and make it precise, make it pristine, build a foundation. So it's not all negative. But there is a tritone energy between Jupiter, Zeus, Kronos, Saturn, and Uranus. These are elements that represent yang energy. But the power of yang is only given through yin, through the purpose, the reason, the actual foundation for anything to grow in this world. It has to be based on a unifying factor, the creative flow of life. And so in these times we see where Saturn is representing establishment, representing power over dynamics. We have become imbalanced, and we can see it in our societies now, where the imbalance is becoming too hard to ignore, where all the secrets have been coming out, and it seemingly coincides with the dumbing down of the populations. But that is part of a process in which the truth, the simple truths rise up through all the complexity of whatever is laid in front of us, before us, blinding us by the 10,000 things. Saturn goes direct late night, October 23rd, or early morning 24th, depending on where you are in the world. As Saturn goes direct, Saturn will be leaving the last of its Uranus square energies, and that energy will slowly dissipate, fade into reality through what had been started 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Everything is an unfoldment. But as Saturn goes direct, there is a grand air trine with Mars in Gemini and Mercury in Libra. Saturn being at 18:35 minutes of Aquarius when it goes direct. And Mars will be at 25 degrees Gemini. It starts its retrograde motion on the 30th of October. And it will be in communication with Saturn for a few more months. Mercury, however, the messenger of the gods, ruler of Gemini, is in Libra. We just finished up a powerful Libra moon cycle. And there were some alignments with Mars, Venus, Uranus, and Saturn back in September. And Mars and Mercury and Saturn back in August. There are dynamics which are going to be playing out here over the next few months in terms of value external, monetary things, societal value.
At Ripple, we've talked a lot about the Internet of Value, our North Star of enabling money to move like information does today. But how does the Internet of Value translate into banking?
Knowledge. What knowledge is valuable?
Can you take us through what social media content algorithms have done?
Sure, yeah. So the social media content algorithms, right, they decide what you read and what you watch.
What knowledge has been weaponized? How have we become weaponized against ourselves? Where is the power in this world? Saturn will be bringing spirit to form as it moves direct. There's a heavy gravity with Saturn. The mind is going to have to determine what value is for the individual in relation to this world, and Venus will be helping us with that as she goes through her transformation in Scorpio, being reborn into the evening star. She'll be in superior conjunction with the sun in relation to the cosmos and all the primordial energies. Going over the south node, we're heading into that partial solar eclipse, new moon solar eclipse in Scorpio on the 25th. And these energies are all informing us in different ways. You know, we all have Scorpio, Aquarius in different aspects of our chart, or different houses. And the houses relate to different aspects of your lived experience in this world. But as a species, you know, we all experience global shifts, global events, and the impact. Sometimes you can't escape the impact of whatever that is. Remember, there are many things happening in the world. The only conspiracy that matters is the conspiracy of the self. If you don't lie to yourself, then no one else can lie to you. If you're true to yourself, then you can be true to the world, true to others. Saturn is bringing spirit to form. Right now, Uranus is representing the Promethean fire, which is rising within people. Some feel it long ago, some feel it when they're born, some they need the world in order to show them why they feel a certain way. How can you harness the passion, the fire within yourself, in a way that is communal, that doesn't simply focus on the myopic perspective of destruction or acquiescence to a power structure, or a way of being, or a group, or a family dynamic, or expectations of others? How can you honor expectations in a reciprocal way? Well, you have to honor them within yourself, and that's where Mercury comes in here. Messenger of the gods. On this new moon partial solar eclipse in Scorpio, Mercury will be conjunct Spica at 22 degrees Libra. Spica is a very spiritual, auspicious star. This new moon will be in conjunct, quincunx, with Jupiter at the Aries point. Purity of spirit being brought in. The new moon is also on the north node of Chiron. And so I feel we are healing the Ixion energies of the Saturnian narrative. We are transmuting those. We are coming out of Saturn post-takeover of the Jupiterian Zeus energies, which is the expansion of spirit, and we're bringing in the fire, the Promethean fire, into this Aramonic age, the age of Aquarius, which is rising. So the Saturn-Uranus square, bringing form for spirit. We're healing this world, we're healing ourselves. We're healing the stories of the past by rewriting new pages for the future here. The past doesn't want to change, it wants to hang on. And you can't stop change. That's a given. So it comes down to a question. What is it within you that needs to change? Are you going to be the power, be the change in yourself, or are you going to allow the world to change you? How is your value in yourself going to be reciprocated in this world? Can you find the value in yourself, or are you going to still project it into dynamics of a failing, dying paradigm? Are you going to allow others who are gripped by the fear of change, gripped by their own shadows, to hold you down into the structures of whatever dynamic you're in, the structures of society? Are you going to fall into the technocracy and applaud it as some form of a new age virtue in which everyone is equally balanced at the bottom of a power structure that is just dystopian in nature? Or are you going to utilize the goodness of what society has created and build upon that, scrap the rest? Time tells the truth, but you write the words on the page. In the present moment, you know. Do you accept change in yourself? Or do you deny it? You're going to sacrifice Uranus for the Saturnian story, the narrative, or are you going to rise through that and let others be forced to make that decision themselves? I've used the analogy before, you know, you've seen people swim out into a lake and rescue a drowning animal, a dog. And the dog is just so panic-stricken it lashes out, attacks the rescuer because it doesn't know what to do. That's fight or flight, that's trauma response, that's what this world wants of us because it's easier to manage people when they're in that state of being. It could be demonic intellect, intention, or it could just be part of a process. Whether it's ignorance or intent, doesn't matter, the results are the same. So accept your role in this life. Accept your power. Stand in your power. You don't have to know all the answers. You just have to know that you're learning, you're growing. If you can accept that in yourself and other people can't accept that, that's their problem. Some people come around to the same wisdom you know at different rates. But you got to be true to yourself in these times. As true as you can be. And Saturn Direct's going to help us with that. So, thanks for watching.